The door clicks shut. The sound echoes in the hallway, a finality that rings in your ears like tinnitus. She is gone. In that precise moment, a biological alarm bell rings in your brain. It is the panic of separation. It is an ancient, primal fear that screams at you to do something, anything, to bridge the gap. Your thumb hovers over her contact name. You are already drafting the text in your mind. Maybe a plea. Maybe an apology. Maybe an angry demand for closure. She expects this. In fact, she is banking on it. Listen to me closely. The woman who just left you has a script in her head. She has been writing this script for weeks, perhaps months. In this story, she is the protagonist making a difficult but necessary choice for her happiness. And you? You have been cast in a very specific role. You are the villain, or the desperate ex, or the emotional wreck. She expects the chaos. She expects the paragraph-long text messages at 2 a.m. She expects the drunk dials. She expects you to beg, to plead, to bargain. Why? Because your chaos is her closure. Every time you break down, you validate her decision. Your lack of emotional control proves to her that you are not the strong, centered man she needs. Your desperation is the fuel that powers her exit. It soothes her guilt. She can look at your erratic behavior and say to her friends, "See? I made the right choice. He's unstable." But what happens if you burn the script? What happens if, instead of the storm she predicted, you give her the vacuum of space? What happens when she waits for the explosion, and you give her absolute, total, dignified silence? You don't block her. You don't post sad songs. You don't post fake happy photos. You simply vanish. You accept the reality with a stoicism that is so profound it is unsettling. This does not just surprise her. It psychologically short-circuits her entire reality. It creates a glitch in her matrix. Today, on the Aphorism Archive, we are not just talking about the no-contact rule. That is surface-level advice. We are going to perform a deep-dive autopsy on the female psyche during a breakup. We are going to analyze the neuroscience of silence, the architecture of respect, and how the Phoenix effect can transform your greatest loss into the genesis of your greatest power. This is what she really feels when you move on peacefully. And more importantly, this is how you reclaim your soul. To understand why silence is a weapon of mass reconstruction, you must first understand the battlefield, her mind. By the time a woman initiates a breakup, she has usually mentally exited the relationship weeks prior. We call this the pre-grieving period. While you were oblivious, thinking things were fine, she was slowly detaching. She was building a fortress. The bricks of this fortress are made of logic and rationalization. She has journaled about it. She has consulted her board of directors, her mother, her sisters, her best friends. They have analyzed your flaws, magnified your arguments, and validated her feelings. By the time she says the words, "We need to talk," her mind is a steel trap. She has convinced herself that you are not the one. But here's the catch, that conviction is fragile. It relies on a continuous stream of evidence to stay upright. She needs you to act weak to prove she is strong. She needs you to act clingy to prove she needs space. When you react with the predictable storm, the begging, the pleading, you are handing her the mortar to seal those bricks. You are essentially saying, "You are right. I am beneath you. I am dependent on you. I have no value without you." This triggers a phenomenon known as the repulsion circuit. In evolutionary psychology, humans, and especially women selecting mates, are repelled by dependency. If a man crumbles because a woman leaves, it signals that she was the source of his strength. And a woman cannot respect a man for whom she is the only source of strength. She wants a man who generates his own gravity. So, when she walks away, she is braced for impact. She is wearing emotional armor, ready to deflect your guilt trips and your sorrow. But then, you do nothing. You accept the breakup. You look her in the eye, you say, "I understand. If that's what you want, I accept it." And then you walk away. You don't text. You don't watch her Instagram stories. You don't ask her friends about her. This is the pattern interrupt. Her brain is a prediction machine. It predicted X. You gave it Y. This creates a cognitive dissonance gap. The energy she mobilized to fight you now has nowhere to go. It rebounds. It turns inward. Instead of fighting you, she is now fighting the silence. And silence is a ghost. You cannot fight a ghost. Let's look at the first week of silence. This is the relief and confusion phase. Initially, she might feel relief. Thank God he's not making a scene. I dodged a bullet. This is her conscious mind talking. But her subconscious mind is already starting to panic. You see, even if she left you, she was addicted to your attention. Even negative attention, arguing, crying, pleading, is still a dopamine hit. It tells her she matters. It tells her she is the prize. When you cut the supply, she goes into withdrawal. She checks her phone. Nothing. She checks your social media. No sad quotes. No "I miss you" songs. She checks with mutual friends. Has he asked about me? No, he actually hasn't mentioned you. He looks good though. This is where the script begins to shred. Why isn't he fighting for me? Did I mean nothing to him? Was he faking it the whole time? Is there someone else? Silence is the ultimate canvas. Because you are giving her nothing, she is forced to paint her own insecurities onto that canvas. If she has an avoidant attachment style, someone who values independence and runs from intimacy, your silence is even more devastating. Her entire defense mechanism is built on running away from someone who is chasing. An avoidant person runs because they fear engulfment. But you cannot be engulfed by a vacuum. When you stop chasing, she stops running. She stops and looks back. Wait, where did he go? For the first time, she feels the weight of her decision. When you were chasing her, she felt the pressure of your neediness. Now that you are gone, she feels the weight of your absence. This is a critical distinction. As long as you are making noise, you are a nuisance. When you are silent, you become a mystery. And mystery is the breeding ground of attraction. We must go deeper than attraction. We must talk about the currency that buys a relationship, respect. There is a hard truth that modern society tries to soften, but we deal in reality here at the Aphorism Archive. Love cannot exist without respect. A woman can love a puppy, but she cannot be led by one. She can feel pity for a beggar, but she cannot desire him. When you beg, you are trading your dignity for a chance at proximity. You are saying, "I will debase myself just to be near you." This destroys respect. And once respect is gone, attraction follows it out the door within seconds. By moving on peacefully, you are laying a new foundation of respect. You are demonstrating emotional self-regulation. Think of the captain in the storm. The waves are crashing, the breakup. The crew is screaming, your emotions. The ship is listing, your life. If the captain falls to his knees and starts weeping, the crew mutinies. The ship is lost. But if the captain stands at the helm, eyes on the horizon, hands steady, even if he is terrified inside, he commands authority. When you choose peace, you are signaling to her biology that you are a competent male. You are signaling that your survival and your happiness are not outsourced to her. You are a sovereign nation. This is not about being cold. It is about being centered. There is a difference between the silence of a child giving the silent treatment, which is manipulative, and the silence of a king who has accepted a treaty and withdrawn to his castle. The king does not throw a tantrum. He rebuilds his kingdom. This earns her respect, even if she doesn't want it to. She might still be angry. She might still be hurt. But she cannot look at you and say you are pathetic. She is forced to look at you and say, he handled that with class. And that thought, he handled that with class, is the seed that eventually grows into regret. Now, let's talk about the glow up. But not the superficial kind. Most men think the glow up is getting a haircut and posting a thirst trap on Instagram. That is transparent. Women see right through that. That is performance art, and it is still done for her. The true glow up is internal. It is the restoration of the self. When you move on peacefully, you reclaim your energy. Think of how much mental RAM you were using trying to analyze her texts, trying to please her, trying to save the sinking ship. All of that energy is now repatriated. It belongs to you again. You direct that energy into your health, into your finances, into your intellect. Here is the mechanism of regret, the what-if cascade. Research on rumination shows that women tend to process breakups internally and repetitively. They replay the tape. When you are silent and successful, she is forced to replay the tape without new data. If you are sending angry texts, she would focus on those texts. Ugh, he's so annoying. But without those texts, her mind drifts back to the good times. This is the fading effect bias. Over time, the negative memories, the arguments, fade faster than the positive memories, the intimacy. She starts to wonder, did I make a mistake? He seems so different now. He's not the weak guy I thought he was. What if he becomes the man I always wanted, but for someone else? This is the scarcity principle in action. Humans value what is rare. Humans value what is difficult to obtain. When you were begging, you were abundant. You were free. You were cheap. Now, you are scarce. You are expensive. You are out of reach. Your peace has turned you from a backup plan into a missed opportunity. She sees you moving forward. And she realizes she is standing still. The man she dumped was a version of you that no longer exists. She broke up with version 1.0. The man she sees now, calm, collected, thriving, is version 2.0. She technically hasn't broken up with this man. She doesn't even know this man. And that curiosity is the spark that can reignite attraction. We have arrived at the most critical part of this video. If you zone out now, you will fail. I have given you the roadmap to her psychology. I have shown you how silence creates attraction. And I know exactly what some of you are thinking. Okay, I get it. I'll act peaceful. I'll pretend to move on. I'll stay silent for 30 days, and then she'll come back. Stop. If you do this as a strategy to manipulate her, it will backfire. Women have a sixth sense for inauthenticity. If you are pretending to be happy while secretly checking your phone every 5 minutes, you are still vibrating at the frequency of desperation. She will feel it. This strategy only works if it isn't a strategy. It only works if it is a lifestyle. This is the phoenix effect. The phoenix does not rise from the ashes to impress the people who watched it burn. It rises because that is its nature. It rises because it has no other choice. You must move on peacefully for you. You must rebuild your life for you. You must find peace for you. The irony of the universe is this: you only get the thing you want when you no longer need it. As long as you need her to validate your existence, you are repelling her. The moment you are truly happy without her, the moment you can honestly say, I would love to see her, but I will be fine if I never do, that is the moment you become magnetic. This is the shift from victim to owner. The victim waits for her to come back and fix him. The owner fixes himself and decides who he allows into his life. When you reach this state, two things happen. 1. She might come back. She might reach out, sensing that shift in power. 2. You might realize you have outgrown her. And that is the ultimate victory. When you realize that the pedestal you put her on was actually a prison you built for yourself. Gentlemen, the breakup is not the end of the book. It is just the end of a chapter. And it was a chapter you needed to close so the real story could begin. Do not give her the satisfaction of your destruction. Do not give her the validation of your chaos. Give her the only thing that will make her question everything, your absolute, unwavering, stoic peace. Be the captain of your ship. Be the king of your castle. Be the man who respects himself too much to beg for someone who couldn't see his value. If you are currently walking through the fire, I want you to know, you are not alone. We are building an archive of men who refuse to be broken. Men who transform pain into power. If you are ready to commit to the Phoenix effect, if you are ready to choose dignity over desperation, do me a favor. Scroll down and comment 2 words, I choose growth. Let that be your contract with yourself today. Subscribe to the Aphorism Archive. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next lesson in self-mastery. Move in silence. Build in silence. And let your success make all the noise.